this episode was supposed to be super low key, and I don't even have my proper like microphone or anything today because I'm on vacation, but I still want to be there. I still want to show up and do this.
Still taking time to do this.
Now. Loading now. This is Are We Having Fun? I have something in my tooth. Hold on. It's like in my lip. Does food ever
Yummy.
get stuck? Like, you know, like in your
Can't wait to post
lip,
this
like...
on YouTube.
All right. What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh. This is a rough day for me. I don't know about you, Stephanie.
We say that every episode. We always say we're a mess. This is rough. Clearly we're not getting better from here.
Okay. So I'm Kaehla. I'm in LA right now. Stephanie is in Florida.
I'm Steph. Yep.
She's Steph.
Shut up.
And oh my god,
Zoom is like breaking up. All right.
Oh really?
Anyway,
I think it's fine on my end.
Okay, whatever.
It's fine.
So
this is how we're gonna record it. So anyway, we're going to catch you up on this crazy ass week of ours. So Stephanie, I need to hear what you've been up to because we have not been able to keep in touch. You did 7 loads of laundry today. That's what you said right before we started recording. What's going on?
So the theme is stress or de-stressing, obviously. And if there's nothing that like heightens my stress than laundry, and I had to do 7 loads of it because I procrastinate that to like ends of the earth. So I was like, all right, screw it. I got to do it all now. So it's done.
Jeez.
So it's done. So check that off my to-do list.
Nothing stresses me out more than taking clothes out of the dryer. And nothing stresses Parker out more than when I don't take clothes out of the dryer because I'm too stressed to take them out of the dryer.
Well, so, like laundry is so easy to throw it in the washer and then throw it in the dryer. It's what you do after that that's the issue. Because most of the time, that's me throwing my laundry on one side of the bed and then going to sleep on the other. Oh. And then I just leave it there for Mark, and then he throws it on the floor. So that's like the endless cycle. So I was like, screw that. We're going to actually sort through everything. So
my gosh. Well, how productive. Do you feel better now?
I do feel better. It's a weight off my shoulders.
Okay, good.
And I dusted and I vacuumed.
Wow.
I killed it today in the cleaning department.
We actually did clean pretty much everything before we left, except for my closet. I'm like, I don't have time to touch my closet, but we pretty much cleaned the apartment because I love going out of town and coming back and the house is clean.
A clean house, yeah.
Yeah, it just feels so nice. Pumpkin's still at home. He has a babysitter, so our friend Robbie is watching him. So he's updating us with some pictures. Why was I going to say songs? So anyway, Steph. I didn't even ask you. What are we drinking?
So we're switching it up this week. We've done a lot of beer, so I thought let's go with a wine. So I'm drinking a Malbec. I believe the brand is Gouguenheim, which sounds like German, no, but it's from Argentina.
Yes. Yeah, as all Malbecs should be.
As most Malbecs, yes, as they should be. So Malbecs are like super earthy, I would say. I don't know. They're like spicier, earthier. Yeah, so I love a good Malbec. Not really like a cab girl, but I like the spicier ones.
I like a full-bodied. We used to drink wine in college together. We would buy Menage a Trois, remember? From 7-Eleven.
Or the $2.99 wine from Trader Joe's.
Yes. We loved a good red blend, though. We were like, ooh, let's get all of that in
that's
there.
Still my favorite. Blends are my favorite, I think, like hands down.
Mm-hmm. But Malbec, still.
Malbec.
I mean, honestly, there's so much good wine. Anyway.
Yeah. So I've really become a wino in the last year. That's for sure.
That's good. I've become a tequila and I'm still on my Jameson, so I'm gonna hold off because I sent the boys out to the bar to get dinner and drinks, and I'm going to meet them. So I'm going to save my drink for after the show so I can, get my good old JMO going on. But yeah, I'm in LA. I've been here a few days. No. Yeah, a few days now.
1 day.
2, 3. This is the third day. Okay.
So tell us about your trip. What'd you do the first day? Yesterday.
Well, Saturday.
Saturday
we came in and our friend took us to the place where they are right now. Founders. It's like right down the road. Actually, some people from Orlando were in town, so they wanted to meet up. So it ended up being like this whole group ordeal where I invited people and then they started inviting people. And then Seamus, who's Parker's friend, invited some people out, and it was just like a huge group.
That's fun though.
And like
that sounds awesome.
We did our own thing, and then like half the people did their own thing. So it's kind of like, come along, but like this is what we're doing. We're gonna go off,
right? Like if you want to leave or do whatever.
Don't be pressured. Whatever.
Come when you want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good night.
Yeah. So we went all over the place, all over Hollywood, and I really want to talk about today. So I'm like kind of like fast forwarding through the first couple of days, but they were really fun. Sunday, we did like a Sunday fun day in Santa Monica, and we had like bottomless mimosas, and then we ended the night on a rooftop bar. So it was like really, it was
you need to
a really
send
long
pictures.
Yes, definitely.
I haven't seen any of these pictures.
I've been trying to put stuff on my story, but I've been really living in the moment. So as we should,
nice.
right?
Good.
Yeah.
And I saw you went to In-N-Out, and an unpopular opinion, I do not like that. I think it's not good, dude. Big unpopular opinion, but I don't think it's all that. I think it's so overrated.
Oh my gosh. Well, you eat Steak and Shake, right? It's just another diner.
Steak and Shake is so much better, dude. You can't even compare the two. In-N-Out is like overpriced. You wait way too long. It's dry. The fries are never good.
No,
the only thing good is the shake.
I've been to
wrong
3, one.
and they were all trash. They were all not good.
Went in like Las Vegas.
I've been to 3, so I gave it a try. I went to one in Las Vegas, one in Utah, and twice in Las Vegas. 2 different locations though, and one in Utah.
You got to go in California.
They were all not good.
You got to go to the originals.
But it's like Chick-fil-A. You get Chick-fil-A anywhere. It's good. So I think it should be a standard that it should be good, and it wasn't. But anyway,
we're gonna put a poll. We're gonna put a poll up. What is your opinion on In-N-Out? That's what the listeners are gonna weigh in on. Is it overhyped?
Make sure you speak from the heart, guys. Don't just give in to the hype.
I love it. I love a good In-N-Out burger. You do have to wait a long time, but whatever. Shake Shack is totally different, but you wait, for your burger.
So
like it's the same experience. So anyway, In-N-Out was the first thing I did. But let me get to today, because today was probably one of the most trying days of my life in terms of vacations. And we're talking about stress, and boy, was I stressed. Excited. At one point I looked at Parker and I was like, I don't know, let me have a second or else I'm going to cry, because I was so stressed. Aww. Like I was so frustrated. Like it was one of those things where like I was like, I need a moment to just figure something out, because we rented a car online. So we thought
convertible, right?
Yeah. So we thought we're going to show up at the place, show them our stuff. Boom. They give us the key. We drive away. No, not one person in this place was in there less than an hour each, because literally everyone was having issues with their car rentals. And I don't know if it was just the place we went, like the location, or if it was just the company policy. But basically, with this convertible, we already paid everything except for $60. But then because of their company policy, they have to put a $200 hold on your credit card. And
yeah,
of
that's
course,
pretty standard though.
Is it? That didn't happen to me ever. Like New York, LA, when I went a few years ago to visit, like
Yeah,
I've
had that
never dealt
happen.
with that.
Just because it's a rental, so they want to like it's kind of like when you go to a hotel and they put down an amount for incidentals, but it's just a hold, so it doesn't charge it yet. And then when you check out or when you give it back, then it goes away.
So not knowing that, I had racked up my credit card, right? So it was almost maxed out. Okay, let's talk about being a mess here. It was almost maxed out, but I was short. Okay. And had I known, I would have put the money in yesterday before we went there, or 2 days ago, or whatever, however long it takes to like process the credit card.
Could you not use Parker's credit card or no?
I'm getting there. I'll get there.
Okay.
So card declined. Okay. And I was like, all right, then I'll just use my debit card. Oh, debit card is going to be a $500 hold. And I had that. That's fine. They needed 2 forms of ID. I didn't think to bring a passport or a utility bill or whatever, a military ID, whatever they were asking for. So I just had my driver's license and I had a picture of my passport on my phone, but of course that wouldn't work. It's not like in real time, whatever you want to call it. On top of that, they would run a credit check and they want to see your flight home.
What? What the heck?
It was like this whole thing. Okay. So
I've never heard of that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is great. And because we rented through a third party, like Priceline, then we had issues transferring to a new car. We had issues refunding, and they couldn't just give us a different car. Because we had a convertible, there were different rules than a normal car. And if we had just gotten a regular car, everything would have been fine. But because it was a convertible, it was complicated. And you can't rent a convertible on a debit card. So all of that was null and void.
Oh my gosh.
So my best option is we come back tomorrow if my credit card payment goes through in time. And technically we still have this car for another day. So we're still in the process of that. Meanwhile, so Parker's like, okay, I'll just put it on my credit card. Well, once you put it on Parker's credit card, the car has to be under his name. Because he's 24, he's not allowed to rent a convertible. So then it becomes this thing where like we're like, okay, we can't transfer the car, we can't transfer the name, we can't like do anything with this car we already rented for 2 days. Like we already put in the payment online.
And they wouldn't give you a refund, right? Because you're like right there the day of.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it was just that was just their policy. It was like, this, if you're getting a deal from us, you're not allowed to return, whatever. Apparently also the insurance that they provided was not right. So like it wouldn't have covered anything on the car and we would have had to purchase insurance. So it was just like all this stuff. It came down to, okay, well, maybe we can get a friend's car to borrow, but we're already here. And the lady at the kiosk was so invested that she was like, do not leave. Like, I want to help you. And she was like 30 minutes past her lunch break. And she was like, I was supposed to go on break, but I want to make sure you're taken care of because you need a car. And then she ended up going on break and passing us off to this other guy. And they were like, you need to just start the whole process over and just get another car. Like, you just need to rent a whole new car.
So you didn't get the convertible?
No. The convertible is out the window until tomorrow. So basically we go, okay, so we need a car, right? We're just like, like no more convertible. We just need a car. And if this doesn't work, then we'll just figure something else out. but we'll try this one thing because they're like helping us, and it's been an hour and a half by now, like this process. So, oh my gosh. So this guy is starting to look up cars that are available. Parker's looking on his phone. It won't load. There's no service. There's no Wi-Fi. The guy's computer breaks down, and all four of the windows next to him, the computers break down. I made a comment 15 minutes into us waiting to even get to the counter. I go, look how old their program is. They were like running on Windows 98 or something. So
Windows XP.
Yeah, no, like older than that. Like it was bad. So I was just like, great. Like, okay. So Parker's dealing with that. I start going on Turo because I'm like, okay, we talked about Turo like a couple weeks ago.
That's what I used on my trip.
Yeah, and I know Turo is like Airbnb, where sometimes you can just book it, no questions asked, and then you just show up and you take the car. You know, you just meet with the owner. So I was about to like, I was like going through that process, and I'm like, oh, this might actually work out better. Like there was a Mini Cooper. Parker points out every single Mini Cooper on the road. So like, okay, this would actually be a different experience, you know? So that would be our last case scenario, is like to go that way before like asking a friend. So finally this guy approves Parker's car, and he just like sends us off into the parking lot, and he's like, go to zone 3, pick out a car and just drive away. And we're like, what? Like they don't hand you the key. You show up to the car and all the cars in the lot have the keys. Then you have to go to an exit window and wait in a line to get out of the parking lot. I've never been to a place like this. Never been to a place like this. Never happened to me before. So I'm just like, if they say no to like us even leaving this parking lot, we're just gonna walk. Like we're just gonna leave the car where it is at the exit, and we're just gonna walk. So we get in this Chevy Spark, okay, this little hatchback that looks like my old Nissan Versa kind of, and we're just like, at least this thing's gonna be good on gas mileage. It just got cleaned, like it had a little clean seal on it. We leave and we're like, okay, let's stress about the money later, or you know, let's work through that later.
Got a car, enjoy the vacation.
A car. We hadn't even like, I was so hungry, but like by this whole process, I wasn't hungry anymore because it was just like all stress. The like adrenaline, stress, everything, whatever. He's like, do you want to eat now? And I was like, no, forget about eating. We're by the beach. We wanted to go from beach town to beach town. We're right here. Let's just go. We got the car. Let's make the most of it. As soon as we got to like, because we were like near the airport, we just kind of just drove towards the beach and then went down the road, and we're just like exploring, like no GPS directions, just looking at the map and like going down the streets. So we hit Manhattan Beach, and it is super cute there. It's super like high end, really clean. So like we get out, we walk the pier, we walk by the houses, and then we eat lunch at one of the restaurants. Parker gets a drink, I get some pizza. And we're like, you know what? Like all the stress is gone now. We see the beach, we see everything we wanted to, like right here, and then just everything kind of melted away, and we're like, whoo, okay. Good. So we just continued driving from beach to beach, all the way down to, it's called Palos Verdes, and it's like basically if you're looking at LA, you go south, and then it like curves in north of Catalina Island. And there's like Long Beach, but then there's like bluffs, like cliffs with really, really rich houses, like really, like, wow. It was like, why doesn't anybody talk about this? Because it was like so fancy, but you can like,
nobody can afford it. I'm pretty sure that's
why. Probably. But you know, people talk about Malibu, they talk about Beverly Hills, but like no one talks about this area. And we just like get out, like on the street, and there's like a little overlook basically into the water. You see like the cliffs, and you see like Malibu way in the distance, and you see Catalina Island way in the distance, and then you turn around and you look up the hills and you see mansions on the top of the hills. So we're just exploring all this area south of LA. And then we realized we were close to this flight school that Parker wants to do some training in. So we drove up to the flight school. Parker went in and like asked some questions.
Nice.
And then, yeah, it was really cool. And then we drove back towards the beach. And then I took him up to Venice Beach and like Marina del Rey and stuff like that. That way we could just see the whole point of this week, or like especially these next couple of days where we were renting the car, was to drive up and down the coast and out and look at all the neighborhoods, because we want to move here. So we're getting a sense of which area we like the most. And every single area has just like its own charm, its own life to it. The people are different. So it's like really cool to compare the different areas. So it really went from like almost a terrible situation where like we don't really have much money to deal with, and now there's these extra things that we didn't expect, to like it all worked out. Like everything just worked out.
The stress went away.
Yeah.
And now you're just
and
like
the timing,
grateful to be there.
The timing was perfect because our friend worked all day, so we wanted to be out of the house while he worked at home. And we ended up back at Santa Monica where we were yesterday. So Parker like really started getting familiar with Santa Monica, and honestly that's like my favorite. It's just my favorite area, like ever. That's just my favorite area. So we like walked around there again, and Parker really wanted an LA hat, so he got one of those. And then we parked literally right across from the Lowe's Santa Monica. So
I know you sent me a video.
I sent you that video. Yeah,
I need to
like
go and stay there.
Stephanie works at Lowe's, so we love to visit all the Lowe's all over the country. And so it was really cool to see it right there. Like, why would we go up there otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
So it really turned out to be a good day. And then after this, we're going to go, and they're probably ordering food right now. So it just,
you're going to get some drinks and just relax with friends.
Yeah. As Parker says, it's like, we've been to so many different cities, and until you're in California, people will say everything. They'll say it's so expensive, it's so this, it's so that, there's so much negative stuff, blah, blah. Then you get here and then you're like, why would I be anywhere else? There's mountains, there's ocean, like there's nightlife, there's farmers markets, anything you could ever want is everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
We're really having fun.
Good. And you'll be there for another like 7-8 days, right? So plenty of time to explore.
Sunday. Yeah. So we're going to go up north tomorrow and like out to Burbank and Studio City, Hollywood, West Hollywood, like all the stuff we haven't done yet.
Dude, I need a trip like this. I want a trip to just like drive up and just see all of like California. Well, you guys are staying in LA, but I want to just like do this basically.
Yeah.
With the whole coast.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we definitely want to go further north, like towards Monterey and San Francisco, you know, but there's plenty of time. Like we're really serious about wanting to be out here. And so once we're out here, we'll make those trips and you come out and we'll do whatever you want, like whatever priority.
Yay!
All of our
I can't wait. Once you move, I can't wait to come visit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, I mean, I feel like that was just like the whole episode was me talking about today, and it took the whole day to just like explain everything, but
So based off that story, I guess my question is, when you have a stressful situation, what do you do to get out of it? like today it seemed like you just kind of traveled around and just like forgot about everything that stressed you out. But what would you say are like
Yeah.
the things that you do to like get over that?
Well, especially like, so it could have turned really sour, and like I guess fortunate, not I guess, but I am fortunate that Parker is very reasonable. Like if it's, somebody who will also freak out really
Yeah, or like amp you
big,
up in a
yeah,
bad way.
then
Yeah.
we could have been yelling in the, I don't know, but it was kind of just like, we need a solution. It was very like, we need to figure out a solution. So take this one step at a time. And when it got like heightened and heightened and heightened, like everything just kept getting worse and worse in this setting.
He
Like
was kind of like the calm one, like, let's bring it down,
well,
just focus.
yeah, it was just like, I know we need to figure out a solution, but let me just take a moment. Let me like make sure I have my thoughts
Yeah.
straight. Let me let me look into different options in my head real quick, and then before I like
I
speak,
feel that.
before I act. So it was like taking a moment to just survey in my head what's going on, not just like outwardly what's going on.
Yeah.
And just like one step at a time. Like it could have been a different experience, and so it was just like taking that moment was a big thing that I remember from today. I mean, what would you have
Good.
done? How would you have reacted? Have you been in a situation
Um,
like that?
so not like exactly like that, obviously with like a rental car, but if I was going through like what you were going through, I'm definitely like you. I'm the one that like will probably get red in the face and I'll probably start like freaking out. But I also have like that business brain too, where like I can separate like my emotions with what needs to be done, like right then. So
Mm-hmm.
like if it's like happening to me like that, I'll internally freak out, or maybe like once we're in the car, I'll like let go of like a little bit of emotion, or maybe like, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'm like, okay, boom, 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 like let's solve this shit because I'm trying to like be on my way. Especially on vacation, like you don't want to be stuck at a rental car place. I'm like, I want to get the hell
Right.
out of here. I want to get
Right.
to the beach. So like, let's do what we got to do. Everybody, like, let's move a little faster. Everybody get this stuff going.
It's
So
like it had been an hour and a half already. So it was
yeah,
like,
no,
we want to just give up on it. Like we wanted to call it quits, but we were also there so long that like we needed to see it through. Like we maybe
right.
could have just borrowed our friend's car, but like we were already there and we're
You
like,
were
we didn't want
invested,
to
like you
give up.
said.
Yeah. We did
Yeah.
not want to give up, and the people did not want to like let us leave until we got a car, because that's
You
what
wanted
we
to
were there
come
for.
out winners of the situation. You don't want to
Because
like give in.
we literally showed up to the kiosk and we're like, we want to make this super easy on you. I handed her my license and my card like before she even got all the words out. She's like, okay, girl, like let's just get through
Yes.
this. And then it just went ba 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 ba, and we're just like,
Oh gosh.
oh my god, like we can't even get a car, like what. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
gosh.
hold on. And we're like, what do you mean, hold on? Like, you're literally telling us we can't get a
Yeah, you're
car, but
telling us we can't.
whatever.
Yeah, and you,
So we
you
just
like want to feel so defeated, but it's like whatever.
like,
We're just gonna
we
figure it
just
out.
can't get a car without spending an extra hundred. Like, it ended up being like a $300 hold because, like, we had to go through all this extra stuff.
So are
That's
you gonna
just
get the
wild.
convertible tomorrow, or are you gonna just keep this car the whole time?
No, we're gonna return the car tomorrow. We're gonna see if our like credit card payment goes through, and then the car is supposed to be in my name. But I was like, Parker, honestly, for the peace of mind, I want to just say forget the convertible, it's over, and we just have to bite the bullet on how much it costs. I mean, yeah, how sick would
Mm,
it be to drive up to Malibu in a convertible, but like
with the wind
i'm
in your
like
hair.
I'm like with the line that we had to wait in, and then it's just a
Yeah, that's
long
true.
process. The computers are
And it's
slow,
just
they're breaking
adding
down,
stress
and
at that point. Talking about
it's adding
stress.
stress, and it's taking away from our day. Whereas I also like, besides going on Turo, I texted my cousin, and she like works in LA, so I'm like, just while you're working, you don't need your car, can we borrow it, we will get to you, but like we're gonna like not make it through today with a car apparently. Like it was just ridiculous. So I'm like, can we just please borrow your car tomorrow? Like we'll bring it back before you get off. And she said yes. So I was like, okay, Parker, like I want to just say forget the convertible. Like at that point it's like, okay, we can just get a convertible when the time is right, you know, and just like have a little
or when you move there
day. Yeah, exactly. Or he's like, you know what, this is a sign. I'll just buy the convertible Mini Cooper when we move, you know, like
yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's what'll happen.
Put a positive spin on it.
Yeah, we really like, I was just like, we were both working together to like find another solution. So at least one of them had to work out.
Right.
So we're just going to return the car tomorrow instead of renting it for 2 days and just borrow my cousin's car because
nice.
Whatever. I will never go through that again. I've never even, before I was 25, I never had issues with that. Like,
yeah. And now that you're like even older than that, it's like, what the heck? But that's LA like, for you. I can't say I'm surprised. Way too many people.
No, last time I was here, that didn't happen. I was 24 and it was in and out. Not the burger, but the service.
Yeah.
For renting a car. Like,
well, but there was a lot of things. Like your credit card was maxed out. Like there was a lot of things that could have gone through easier. You know what I'm saying? So But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that's how you do it. What are some other things that like help you? Like do you do any like meditation or like I don't know, anything like that when you start, like even when it's not on vacation? Let's say you're at home and you get like stressed out or your anxiety levels start going up. What do you do to like combat that?
You know, I try to like put little things into action. I'm trying to think of like what exactly I do when I'm home because I do live by the water and I could like, one of the things I did today also was like, we went out in the sand and sat by the beach for a little bit, like on the second beach we went to. And like, that made a huge difference too. That was like, oh, this is just all I wanted. It was to just like put my feet in the sand. That's a big deal to me.
It's like grounding.
It's like grounding, yeah. But I don't necessarily do that in Duluth. It's not like I would have to walk down 15 minutes to
and it's water. Not sand, it's like rocks.
I mean, I could dip my toes
put your feet in the rocks.
Yeah. but like if I'm like stressed about like work or something like that, I'm like, okay, what about work is stressing me out? Let me just like do the root thing. Like, so
you like dissect it a little bit.
Yeah, like I was stressed about not working this week, which I actually booked something, but I have to I booked an audition, but I have to decline it. Actually, I gotta remember to do that. And then I booked something on set too, but I have to decline it because I like applied for it looking for more information, like more details, but it didn't give me more details. It just said like, thanks for submitting. And then I was like, oh shoot. It was like a small thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, oh, like I didn't actually try to apply for it, but I thought it was going to be like view more information. It didn't give me any details. So it was like, you book it.
Well, at least like you were booked though. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, but I'll do stuff like that. Like I'll go and apply myself if I'm like, okay, like it's not going to help that I'm not doing something in the moment, but like I'll apply myself towards something that I'm searching for and I'll get it in the future, you know, instead of, I could have been like, oh no, I'm not working now and now I'll never work again. Like, I don't know, like that's really dramatic, but just to like put it into perspective, I try to like,
that's
get
actually
to the
dream, but
to never work again.
Right. I don't have to work anymore. Money. Yay.
But well, for I don't know. What do you do?
I feel like, so when I get stressed out, I notice it's like a lot of little things that build up for me. So like one giant thing won't stress me out as much as like a bunch of small stuff. So like when I am stressed out, it's probably about like work, sleep deprivation. I feel like I'm not getting enough done. The 7 piles of laundry that are building up, like that type of stuff all kind of like comes together at one time. And that's when I really get stressed out and I just feel like I have no control over like anything. So to get over that, like I kind of like do what you do. I dissect a little bit and I break it down. So like today I literally went through and I cleaned my whole house and I just felt so good after that. Even if, I still have like a lot to do with work or I'm still tired because I haven't slept that much, at least getting like that point of my life like in order really helps like my mental mood. So I got that done. Like tomorrow I'm planning on waking up early, getting a lot of work done. So by the end of the week, I can hopefully look back and be like, look at this big list of things I got done. Like I feel so good at the end of it.
Yeah. I like that
So
you said, yeah, like everything starts piling up, and I used to be the worst. I'm better. I'm not like really perfecting it yet, but I'm definitely better. But I would not be able to just like take things one at a time, like one thing at a
it's
time.
hard.
So
It's hard when it
once
builds
it all,
up too.
yeah, once it all piles up, then it's just like even trying to start the little
Yeah.
things
You
is
don't even want
too
to.
overwhelming.
There's no motivation is what I find. Like if I leave it too
Yeah.
long like that, I don't even want to do anything. I just want to like sit and wallow in it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds kind of emo, but like that's really like what it is.
Well, we are a little bit well, a little bit emo once in a while. But no, it just taking the things one at a time, like just taking a breath and like being like, okay, what can I work on right now? It's easier said than done, but you have to like
For sure.
you have to work up to the ability to even say, let's take things one step at a time. Like
No, seriously. I've actually seen like
really,
quotes like that.
yeah,
It's like if your best today was like wanting to do good, but you didn't actually get around to doing it, hey, that's a step in the right direction.
yeah, that's better than
Like
when you
do
couldn't
as
even
much as you
accept.
can that day because some days I have like okay, I like thrive off of to-do lists. That's like my
Me
personality.
too.
I guess that's the Capricorn in me. But so some days I literally check off like 10 things and I'm like, hell yeah, that was a really good day. And then other days I literally sit on my couch for 8 hours watching shows, but I'll watch a lot of shows. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I could have done this. I could have done this. But
No,
you know
you
what? That
checked
was
off
still a
your
good day
list of
because
you checked off your
of
watch
shows.
list.
Yeah,
That's
there's always a
important.
list getting checked off, right? I wanted to watch those shows. Boom, I did it.
Oh,
And
wait,
like
I have a
just
list
having that
too.
time to just like relax and like recuperate, that's what I needed too. Cause I push myself so hard sometimes where like I sleep 4 hours a night and like I'm running on empty. I barely eat. I forget to drink water. So
And
when I
it all
have
adds
those
up there
days,
too, right?
yeah, it's like a never ending list of things that like you have to
Mm-hmm.
do and keep like in check. So those
I
days where I'm
notice,
literally sitting at home and like I just eat and I just don't do anything and I just relax, that's just as
yeah,
much of a productive day in my mind.
yeah. I notice like just those little things of like maintaining your body, like eating, drinking enough water is
Yeah.
so hard to do when you're overwhelmed. But
So hard.
also it makes it so much worse because it affects the rest of your life when you're not getting enough nutrients and like
Well, even like when you're sick,
hydration is
right? Like when
like
you're
it's
sick, you don't want to eat, you don't
yeah.
want to drink water, but then that in turn makes you sicker because you need to do those
Yeah.
things. So it's like, damn, you're caught in this cycle constantly.
Oh my gosh, girl, life sucks. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
No, but you hit the nail on the head.
Oh my god. But we definitely have like similar outlooks on how we deal with our stress and how we just do
Just
our
deal with
list.
it.
That's
I mean, that's
hilarious.
really what it is. You just got to deal with it. Everyone's going to have stress. Like, no one's not going to
Like
have that. No one's immune to that. Yeah.
who doesn't
It's,
have stress, honestly?
everybody just has different types of stress. That's why you
Who
have to be
doesn't
really
have
like
crippling
sympathetic.
anxiety?
Okay, that's not good. I feel like there's a difference between stress and like that.
That's like go seek help, Kaehla.
Yeah, that's like we need to get some other ways going here, but
uh,
but
but
yeah, it's a struggle. Everyone goes through it though, so just be sympathetic. You just got to like keep
yeah,
trucking.
honestly,
You're doing the best you can and that's all you can do really. So
have some sympathy for each other. That's all we can ask for is
and
like
for
people that are
yourself,
actually
dude.
sympathetic
Have
towards you
sympathy for
and your
yourself
sympathy.
too.
Yeah,
Because that's my
honestly.
problem. I'm so hard on myself, but it's like for
Me
what?
too.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
your biggest supporter anyway, so don't
I'm
put
like
yourself down.
I'm always hyping myself up and always talking myself down. It's just
Yeah.
like
Never ending
Why
cycle.
Why do I go like so far in either direction?
I know.
It's a balance. No, it's a teeter-totter. Yeah, so basically, we're just gonna hop right into the free spirit segment and just call it a night, and everybody go and have your drink.
De-stress. Light yourself a candle, make
De-stress.
yourself a cocktail, and chill.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Chill
doing.
that
Literally, I
fuck
have
out.
my wine next to a candle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a walk down to the restaurant and chow on some wings.
Ooh.
So the questions for today, and we have not discussed these with each other, of course, as all of our free spirit segments go, is number one, what stresses you out the most? Number two, what have you learned about stress and coping over the years? And number three, what does stressing look like for you? Because everyone does react differently, it manifests in a different way. So I thought these would be really fun to discuss with you, Stephanie.
Yes.
So number one, what stresses you out the most?
So piggybacking off of what I said earlier, when I don't have like a lot of stuff done at the same time, that's really like what stresses me out. So like if like my house is clean, my dogs have all their medicine, work's good, all of that, but like one thing is off, I can handle that. That's no problem. That's just like a Tuesday. But when I have like a bunch of stuff and it kind of all like aligns to where I don't feel like I'm at my best, that's when I started like freaking out and really like getting stressed out. So I would just say like just not having it all together, feeling like I'm always inadequate, which I feel like is like a thought that a lot of people feel. Again, we're going to go to the emo vibes, but
we're
just feeling like you're not doing your best that day.
We all laugh because we relate. For me, it's definitely like what stresses me out the most, I think, is the future, the unknown. And I've had this conversation with other friends.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, one of the things that I like to discuss with my friends is like what the fear of the unknown means for you. And it's just kind of like, it's almost like, that's kind of the result of anxiety or the definition of anxiety, but just not knowing if you're going to be okay financially, health-wise, whatever in a month.
If you're going to have stability, that's a big one for me.
Yeah, that can start like making you actually stress more in the moment and manifest the things you were scared of in the future because you're focusing on it, that you're actually like putting your actions towards that. And so like that's what stresses me out. It's just not knowing what's going to happen. But that's why this trip needed to happen, because this is literally us going towards the future and knowing that, okay, why was I stressed before I went on vacation? Like, why was I stressed about vacation? Because I had to like kind of like carve out my savings for some stuff that I wouldn't normally want to. But when we were in college or like post college, I never even had a savings. If I had no idea how I was going to pay my bills in the next month, it was no big deal. Like I was just living and it was worth it for me to have these experiences, and it always worked out. Yeah. Because I always made sure I took care of myself in those moments and then, took care of myself the next moment. Yeah. So like, why am I even stressing about it?
As you've gotten older, you've like vied away from that.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, I still deal with it like literally right now in this trip, but I'm like, okay, yeah, so what? Like we didn't have the money on the credit card, even though I spent a lot of time paying down my credit cards and now it's racked up again. But things come in waves. Like I've accepted that in this moment, and knowing that in a month I could be making twice as much as I made this month. Like it just, everything is different. Like why am I even focusing on what's going to happen in a month when I'm right here dealing with what's happening right now?
Yeah. So it's cycles, it's waves for sure.
Woo! It's a rant for Kaehla today.
Yes. Let it out, girl. This is your de-stress.
Let it out. Everyone let out your guttural scream. That's why we like screamo. It's just like letting out all of that.
Just scream along in the car. You'll feel so much better after.
Okay, so number 2, what have you learned about stress and coping over the years? Honestly, I'm just gonna like answer number 2 the same as number 1. I've learned that you just have to take it one step at a time. One step at a time.
Ooh.
I wonder where Jordan Sparks is. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
I think she got married or something. Wait, no, maybe that's somebody else. Anyway, so what I've learned is that when I used to have like a lot of like really bad stress, like high school and like beginning of college, I always thought it was just me. I was like, everybody else looks like they have their shit together. I'm the one that feels like this, you know, and I feel like it's so easy to isolate yourself. But what I've really learned is everybody has stress. It's just in a different form. So maybe maybe there's some friends who are fine financially. That's not their stress, but who knows? Maybe they have family troubles. Maybe their pet's sick. Like you just don't know what somebody's going through. So just the fact of like knowing that everybody else has their own type of stress, that's almost like warming to me, not because I want other people to have stress, but because it's like, I'm not alone and they're not alone. Like we all know that like we have this, so we can just have each other's backs. And then coping with it, I just feel like same thing as you, like just chisel at it like every day. You know, you don't have to solve all of your problems in one day. That's not going to happen. So as long as you're like actively making little steps every day to try and like combat all of that, I feel like that's like the best way to go about it in the best direction.
Yeah, like why do we want to solve everything in one day? It's just like solving everything in one day is not going to make it go away. It's just everything's like it's a cycle. Like it's just going to come back.
It's
anyway.
like a Band-Aid. You're just waiting for it to get peeled off again.
Like what is wrong with us? Anyway, but I just wanted to sum up that I love that God, now it just left my brain.
You love that.
Ooh. Well, I love that you acknowledge that you're not alone in that, because like when you feel alone, when you feel isolated, that can also make it so much worse. And knowing that, I mean, there's literally 7 billion in the people in the world now. Someone's going to be going through the similar things as you,
right?
So
if like, not the exact same, because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, you're never alone, and you're actually not as independent and quirky and different as you think, because we're all humans.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Well, I remember I even texted you because I'm not really one to like talk about my stress or my problems. I kind of just like internalize it. And I remember texting you and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm in a rut. And and that was the day, I think that was actually when we started the podcast. We were thinking of starting the podcast. You were like, dude, same. Like, it's good that we know that we're not alone. Like, we literally are going through the same thing. So I'm
like, I'll talk about it now. I will let everyone know when you're like, I'm ready to talk about it. And I was like, boom, podcast. Here we go.
I feel like you're like, hi, I'm Kaehla. I'm stressed out.
Hi, I'm stressed. And I am Kaehla right now. Oh my gosh, that is me. Lord. Literally. Okay, I'm so excited because I was just naturally about to tell you like what stress looks like to me, but that is number 3. So what does
number
stress
3?
Yeah, what does stress look like for you? Because everyone reacts differently. If you're watching the video, I like scratch, I fidget, like I do all the shit that you're not supposed to do, and I'm putting this in air quotes, but you're not supposed to do them as an adult. No, fuck that. Everybody reacts to things with their body, and for me, unfortunately, my fucking skin breaks out. It's dry. Like the weather changes.
This is why we're best friends. We're the same. Well, not because I have eczema. That's your case, but
yeah, like literally I'm scratching all day. Like I'm just like, if people catch me doing it, what are you gonna do? Like oust me? You can't. I won't go away. I'm always gonna be here. I'll be louder. Like if you try to kick me out, I will just come back louder. So like
I love that. What about like internally, like in your mind? Do you scream at people? Do you go quiet? Like what does stress look like on the inside?
No, I think I just like, if I internalize it, I bring it out on myself more so than like other people. But I mean, I guess and when I was like really bad, I would also bring it out on other people. And that kind of gets into like when we were talking about drinking all the time. And like my theory or whatever you want to call it is that like whatever you're feeling before you drink, you're going to feel harder when you drink. So like if I'm super stressed out and I'm not talking about it or not dealing with it, then it's just going to get worse if I'm
For
like,
sure.
and we used to like go out just to like
We did that.
cope with it, just to whatever, but it wasn't actually like coping with what is stressing us out, unless we're dancing
about it. We were using it to
dancing,
forget about the situation.
yeah, but it wasn't actually, it was bringing it out because we would like lose our inhibition, so it was bringing it out instead of us suppressing it.
Yeah.
But it was bringing it out in the wrong ways. But like also dancing definitely helps, and there got to a point today where I needed to change the music in the car because it was just like pop, like chill, whatever. And I was like, no, like I literally am getting stressed out over this music. I need some hood ratchet stuff right now.
Yes.
Like I need
What'd
to
you
dance.
put on?
I put on like Megan Thee Stallion, all of the songs that are on TikTok that are just twerking music. Like I just needed to like
in the car
get in my mindset. And Parker's like, what, why are we listening to this? And I'm like, I need this, like I need this right now.
Good, you gotta
like,
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I just gotta like dance it out sometimes. So
hell
yeah, stressing is just,
well, for me,
go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm over it. No, I was just gonna say stressing is like it affects me on my appearance a lot, as well as like internally, in my mind. So that's me. But what's you?
Same. So when I like externally, when I get stressed, people know I'm stressed because I'm red. Like I'm a tomato. And it's not even because I'm like angry. I just get like flustered. Like I get red. Like you can literally see it. It starts at my chest and it goes all the way up to like my cheeks. I get super flushed. And like I literally 2 days ago, I was at work at the bar. And my bartender was like, what's stressing you out? I can tell you're stressed. You're red. I'm like, fuck.
Yes,
like,
call you out. Call you out.
People know this now. I'm like, yeah, man. So like even I'm not the best public speaker. I hate speaking. Like I'm so chill when it's small groups or when it's my friends or even somebody I don't know if it's like one-on-one. But put me in a room with 100 people that I have to speak in front of and I get like anxious. So every time before like a big presentation, like in college or wherever, I literally, my whole face would be like bright red and it's so embarrassing. And I'm like, oh, damn it. And then that just aids in me getting more stressed out. So again, endless cycle. But so externally, I'm on the same page. I definitely like my skin definitely shows it. But internally, it honestly kind of like depends. And that really sucks because it depends like what I'm stressed about. Like if it's something that I know I'm not the cause of, like it's external factors, I tend to get kind of like annoyed and like borderline, like I'm not going to say aggressive, but like I'll like let people know like, hey, this is stressing me out. I don't want this. Like, don't put your shit on me type of thing. But if it's something that like I could have changed or it's something, relating to me, then I get really quiet because I know like it's on me and I'm like, damn it. Like I'm trying to like think through my thoughts and internalize it and figure out a way to fix it. So like I'll just kind of like remove myself. Like if I'm with a bunch of friends and I start getting like that, I'll just kind of get really quiet and I'll like remove myself from the situation. I'm just like, I need to figure this out right now because my mind is racing.
And do you want people to be like, hey, Stephanie, I noticed you're like not yourself.
No,
you want to talk about it? No, you want to deal with it yourself.
No, notice that I'm like that and leave me alone. I want the spotlight on me when I'm like dancing, having a good time, not when I'm like in a mood. Please do not put the spotlight on me.
That is so funny. Yeah, recognizing like how, like, some people will be like, oh, like if you're in a relationship, for example, if you're like the boyfriend, you're like, oh, what's wrong? And then the girl's like, I'm fine.
And he's like, clearly you're not fine. Yeah, no. Or even like with other things though, like even like grief or loss or anything, I don't want people to be like, oh, like my condolences, sorry about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay. Like, I know you mean well, but 100 of these messages is not doing anything. So
right.
let me internalize it and we'll figure it out. So
yeah, like let you come to us when the time is right, when you're ready to talk about it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I definitely have
personally.
I was gonna say I definitely have noticed that with like my friends. I think they tend to be like that, and everybody's different. But like knowing how to like communicate through those things.
For sure. Very important.
Sometimes good communication is just waiting for them to be ready to communicate with you, you know, when they're like going through stress and stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So I feel like we just like
great episode. I
think it was such a great episode.
My favorite. We like hit all the points we were trying to talk about. We didn't even have a lesson plan for this one. We just kind of like got on Zoom and just wing it. Wing it? Is that a word?
Wing it. I love it. We
winged
won
it. What's the correct one there?
I think it's winged it, if that's even a word.
I don't think wung is the word. So yeah, we winged it. Is that correct?
We won. Well, we won this. Like, we're winning. Okay. So here we go. So anyway, we just flew through this episode and it really helped seal the de-stressing of the day. So thank you, Stephanie, because I would have stressed more if we did not actually do the podcast. Yes. Like, honestly, I feel so good when we're like up to the point we're fucking stressed and we're like, when will we have time to record together? We're trying to coordinate both of our busy schedules.
We also have a 3-hour difference in time. Like
now we have a 3-hour difference.
But Kaehla is like in the time where she's about to go out for the night. So like even that's stressful. Dinner. I need to wind down and go to bed. Yeah, it's like totally different.
Also, I think I got a text that like the food's ready, so I'll just show up and eat instead of waiting. Nice. So perfect. Thank you. So you got but thank you guys for being here for another episode. And this was super like low key. I didn't have my proper mic. And I'm not in my
sounds okay.
Yeah, I'm not in my like proper studio, so the like the internet might have been breaking up, but honestly, Stephanie, like I'm not gonna just like edit through all the parts where it might be breaking up. I think it was pretty good, but you guys
know what we're trying to say. You get the deal.
This ain't no big deal here. So
we're all friends here. It's okay.
We're all friends. So just deal with it with us. No one's perfect, and we don't care. We're just living our lives.
Stress. Just don't even.
We're doing our best here. So I'm gonna go enjoy some fucking chicken wings and whiskey. And Stephanie, you finish.
I'm gonna finish
that glass of wine.
I'm gonna finish You season 3 and finish my wine.
Stop. What episode?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm on episode 6 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably do one more episode tonight and then finish it tomorrow. But it's this is no. We're not even gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about this next week.
No. I have to ask one question because you're watching it. Did you see the trailer for season 3, like the official trailer?
I think I did, but I think it was a while ago.
Okay,
when did it come out?
So it came out on the 15th, so Friday.
So then no, I didn't.
So once it came out, you know how Netflix plays like a preview of the show.
Oh, I saw the preview. Yeah.
But the preview was different before the season came out than when the season came out. So it started playing a preview, and basically I feel like they spoiled all the big parts of the season, but I don't know. If you haven't watched it, don't tell me. But like I did see the preview and it looked like a lot. I was like, okay, this looks like all the big moments.
And again, like you haven't watched any of it, right?
No. So.
Okay. Well, you need to watch.
We can't talk about it then.
You need to watch all of them by next week. Okay.
Okay.
So every night you come home, watch one a night, and by next week we're gonna talk about this.
We just finished Squid Game. Actually, we watched it last night.
Good. So we can talk about that too, because that's an awesome show.
Like, I don't want
There's
to
a lot.
spoil it for
Lots to
people
unpack.
though. So if you're listening by the
And
end
I'm
of this
watching
episode,
and I'm watching Peaky Blinders. So you need to watch that
oh,
too because I'm obsessed. I went through 3 seasons in 2 days. So
I watched some of it like years ago, but I know it's really good. I just didn't.
yeah, I didn't
get
realize it
too
was that old
far
of a
into
show. It came out in like 20. We were
Mhm.
in high school when it came out, the first season.
Oh, I thought it was like 2016.
No, it was
Wow,
2013.
I didn't know it was that old. See,
Yeah.
I don't start shows until they're like 3 or 4 seasons in. Same
Same.
thing with Walking Dead. Like
Same.
everything was
Once-
like 3 or 4
Once
seasons
everybody knows it's good, that's when I hop onto it. I'm not like the person
Yeah.
that finds the stuff.
I'm pretty sure I started Gossip Girl when it was starting its last season, and then I caught up, but I
Yeah.
never watched it live. Like
Yeah.
I'm really bad about
Which
starting
I'm glad.
shows.
Yeah. I'd rather binge than have to wait every week. That doesn't sound fun to me.
I mean, it's kind of fun. I'm watching also Only Murders in the Apartment. Now I'm behind a few episodes, but
I heard that's
they're
good. I
releasing
watched
every week.
that.
Yes, watch it.
That's
Definitely
with
watch
Selena
it.
Gomez, right? And
Yeah,
what's
and
his
Steve Martin
Martin
and
and
Martin Short.
All the Martins.
They're so funny. They're funny. Yeah. So watch
All right.
it.
We're gonna catch up on
Okay.
all of these shows next week.
Anyway, we got into a little about shows, but all right. Thank you
our
all
catch-up.
for coming to Are We
Thanks,
Having
guys.
Fun? I'm just kidding.
See you next week. We always end like that. Pa, pa, pa.
Pa, ska. Oh, I sound like a pigeon.
What animal do we sound like this week?
Yeah. Ah. Oh my god, I saw a crow today. I think they're my symbol. They literally keep coming up ever since episode 1.
Because that means like death.
That's what Parker said, and I was like, no.
Isn't that like an Edgar Allan Poe thing? Like,
but I think there's some
raven or a crow. It's like scary.
But I think there's some other badass symbolisms. Like you want to be a witch, like crow. I don't know. I'm trying to make it a positive thing here, okay?
All right. I just think of like scarecrows.
My crow bros.
Love it.
I don't
Love
know.
it.
Okay. All right. I will see you all
later, crow
next
bro.
week. Bye.
Bye.